हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण। We will discuss this fourth chapter from Prabhupada's perspective. So here, in the third chapter, the conversation happened, and where Sati gave her points why she want to go, and Shiva told why she should not go. Shiva gave her his opinion. Whatever Sati said was right, and Shiva added that few more conditions. Whatever you said is right. You can go to the house of your father, not a problem. But only thing is, if somebody is so much having so much bodily identification, then there is a problem because they will they will commit offenses, and then and especially I am self-realized, so Daksha don't appreciate my level of self-realization. I'm better than them. That's why you will commit offenses. And if you'll get more pain from your whoever is closest to you, in terms of words, in terms of anything. Pain and pleasure is from most closest to people. We need people very close to our heart also, because that satisfaction is needed for us to give up material pleasures, gross pleasures. If a person is married and he has children, he is very satisfied in the relationships, then he will not do. But thing is, that is a certain level of satisfaction and that gives pain also. So anyway, so the point here, then Sati could not accept it. She knows that Shiva is right, but she is very much affected by her emotions. And this happens to everyone. When you are in emotional state, intelligence don't work. And if we want to enjoy, then we don't want intelligence also that time. We want to be in emotional state. Emotion like, and if your small children are there, you are playing with them, you feel very nice. It's an emotional state. So no logic. The play where you play with children is does not have any logic. They're just putting some things around here, they're putting, removing it and all. And you also try to do what children are doing and you try to play with them. So it's an emotional state. You don't understand anything. So here, Sati was in an emotional state. She didn't understand what Lord Shiva was trying to tell. She understood, but she didn't want to follow it. And then she leaves. Then what happens? Maitreya says, Lord Shiva was silent after speaking to Sati. Seeing her between decision, Sati was very much anxious to see her relatives at her father's house. But at the same time, she was afraid of Lord Shiva's war. Her mind unsettled. She moved in and out of the room as swing moves in this way and that. So this is actually what was happening to Sati. So here, uh, this is very Bhagavatam explains very deep psychology also. And Sati felt very sorry of being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house, and due to affection for them, tears fell from her eyes. Shaking and very much afflicted, she looked at her uncommon husband, Lord Shiva, as if she were going to blast him with her vision. And she was very, very upset. And we discussed this Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsar explained it. How if our desires are not fulfilled, we become angry. Now, interestingly, if you have bodily conception of life, then what we think is we start so much identifying ourselves with the desires. So that is the problem comes. We are separate from our desires. So even if our desire is not fulfilled, nothing happens to us. We need not so much feel unhappy. Like say, I wanted to go to Kumbh Mela. Now that is my desire. Now by some reasons I could not go. No, nothing happened actually. The desire is in the mind, and soul is completely aloof from all my desires. So I am separate and my desires are separate. If I know it, then life is very, very easy and very blissful. If we know that we are different from our desires, desires are at a mental level. Desires come from outside. It is not based on our association. Because I am hearing all these Uttar Pradesh government, and they have put so much advertisements across the country, inviting people. Now, when people see it, and then they see this social media influencers, they are showing about Kumbh Mela, and so much publicity is done. After seeing that publicity, many people are inspired to go and take dip in Kumbh Mela. Otherwise, it was happening also every year. Ardha Kumbha happens is that, but you don't have desire. Now, how desire came? Because we got exposed to that environment and that advertisement. That means that the desires are coming from external, so they come. No, for Sati also same thing happened. She was staying in the for many years. She could have personally gone to all her sisters' house and mother's meet mother or mother's sisters. No, she didn't go. But now the environment influenced her, and she got a desire. Everybody is going. I also want to go. And this is actually what happens. And now, if you stop, then there is a problem. Like every day, almost I get in my Hindi or Telugu classes on Kumbh Mela. There will be discussion on Kumbh Mela, whether should go or not. Now, why? Because that's influence is there and desire is there. And if you say no, then people are upset. So here, Sati also. One good thing is that nothing happens to us if our desires are not fulfilled. So good news that we should not bother about it. That's what Krishna is trying to tell. That is the second lesson he told. First is he told you are not the body. And second thing he tells in Bhagavad Gita, you are not the mind also. When he says Dehinosmin etadehe kaumara vimranjara, he is telling you are not the body. And when he tells that Matra sparshasthu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityastamasi sirshu subharata, Krishna is telling you are not the mind also. So don't take things that are coming to the mind very seriously. Sukha, dukkha, all these things, mana, apamana, jaya, parajaya, these are all part of the mind. So don't take your mind seriously because you are not the mind also. But the desires are from the mind. And if I am taking mind very seriously, then it's a problem in life. So we should not take this thing. We have to take what is in the scripture seriously. Whatever is right, that should be taken seriously, not our desires. We may have hundreds of desires, but so here Sati took her desires very seriously, and then what happened is she did not follow the intelligence. Thereafter, Sati left her husband, Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body due to affection, breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement. She went to the house of her husband, her father. So this less intelligent act was due to her being weak woman. So there is a question. It was wrong to advertise to come to Kumbh Mela. In that case, we advertised to come to Rath Yatra. Yeah, everybody advertise because they want to make money. Now government want to make money. If people come out, then then you increase the economy. There is a transportation, then there is food, then there are other expenses, and government make money because whenever people spend money, there is a tax also. And then government will make so much money. Otherwise, people are at home. They don't spend money, then economy don't grow. So government want people to spend money because they want to make everybody consumers. That is how the education system is. The present education system is to make proper consumers. Anyway, that's a different topic, and that is the point. So here, this less intelligent was due to her being a weak woman. And this is very important. According to Vedic conception of family life, the husband gives half of his body to his wife, and the wife gives half of her body to her husband. So, in other words, a husband without a wife or a wife without a husband is incomplete. Vedic marital relationships existed between Lord Shiva and Sati, but sometimes due to weakness, woman becomes very much attract, attracted by the members of her father's house, and this happened to Sati. In this verse, it is specifically mentioned that she wanted to leave such a great husband as Shiva because of her womanly weakness. In other words, womanly weaknesses exist even in the relationship between husband and wife. Generally, separation between husband and wife is due to womanly behavior. Divorce takes place due to womanly weakness. The best course for a woman is to abide by the orders of her husband. That makes family life very peaceful. Sometimes there may be misunderstanding between husband and wife, as found even in such an elevated family relationship as that of Sati and Lord Shiva. But a wife should not leave her husband's protection because of such a misunderstanding. If she does so, it is understood to be due to her womanly weakness. Now, Prabhupada is not misogynist. He is actually trying to explain the principle here. The principle is that the woman should be trained properly to understand the ego of a husband. Man, woman is marrying the ego of a man. So she understands what is the ego and accordingly she behaves, then it becomes easy. For women, to adjust is easier than for men. That's why she is given that service. She can adjust herself according to the mood of the children. She can adjust according to the mood of husband also because that is she has that ability. For men, he don't have that ability. His ego is very strong. And then they may say, why I should only adjust? Because for a higher cause. The purpose is that if they do it, then everybody after some time, initially there will be misunderstanding, and after some time they understand, and then they will focus on something higher in life because this is not the only thing. This is just to give protection and to have some basic material comforts and facilities. But ultimately, the purpose of life is to focus on Krishna. Now, okay, your husband you didn't like, then you can marry somebody else. But then you may not like that person also. Then you can marry somebody else. But you are only wasting the time. And instead of focusing on Krishna, you are focusing on like Elizabeth Taylor. She had some 10, 11 marriages. One person she married two times. When she gave him, I think, fourth person, she divorced. And after two, three marriages, again she married him. She means I don't have problem if she is marrying. Problem is that is spending wasting your time because that is damaging the mind. But if you are focused, okay, you know, okay, this part is done. Let me focus something higher. Then things are easy in life. Woman is actually she is given that ability to adjust, to settle things. Like any many of the families, if you see that brothers and sisters, their children are there. When the children grow, they all are together until the mother is there. Mother makes sure that even the children after marrying, they are stayed together. And once mother leaves, then the whole family will be, dismantled. The whole holding factor is mother only. The brothers, sisters, they grow, they have grandchildren, and they all come for the festivals to the house, or sometimes they may stay together also. The binding force will be mother. She has that ability to, Lord has given that ability for women to keep everybody together. That's why she is given that responsibility and the responsibilities for. Yeah. So there are some things men cannot do it. Women can do. Anyway, I am also not very expert in these things. Little bit, whatever I know, I'm trying to share. ताम् अन्वगच्छन् द्रुतविक्रमां सतीम् एकां त्रिनेत्रानुचरा सहस्रशः सपार्षदः यक्षामणिमान् मदाभ्यः पुरो वृषेन्द्रास्त्रिदशैकशः tarasad gatabhyata. When they saw Sati living alone very rapidly, thousands of Shiva's disciples, headed by Manima and Mada, quickly followed her with his bull Nandi in front and accompanied by Yakshas. Sati was going very fast so that she may not be checked by her husband. But she was immediately followed by many thousands of his disciples of Lord Shiva, headed by the Yakshas, Manima, and Mother. The word Gatabhyata used in this connection means without fear. Sati did not care that she was going alone, therefore, she was almost fearless. The word Anuchara is also significant, for it indicates that Lord Shiva's disciples were always ready to sacrifice everything for Lord Shiva. All of them could understand the desire of Shiva and did not want Sati to go alone. Anuchara means those who can immediately understand the purpose of their master. So this is actually very sweet. So they are really in love with Lord Shiva. That's why they could understand the mind even without Lord Shiva telling. And that's how they make advancement. Even though they have all these ikshas and some of these beings may not have very good behavior and qualities, but their association of Lord Shiva will help them to be protected. And of course, the personal associates of Lord Shiva are all very great personalities, but other people also they like Lord Shiva, and in that way they make progress. Like say, if Prabhupada had all these hippies who came to Prabhupada, Prabhupada was like Lord Shiva that he's having all these people. But very soon they all became great Vaishnavas. They were having bad qualities. They came to Prabhupada and Prabhupada immediately purified. So Lord Shiva also makes all these living entities get elevated. And they were ready to do so much for their master. And that means they must also receive so much. No? If you are doing, if they are ready to do almost everything. And it is Lord Shiva's disciples were always ready to sacrifice everything for Lord Shiva. That means Lord Shiva is also investing so much on their relationship. And that's why they are also ready to do everything for Lord Shiva. So they have this very sweet relationships here. And once you have master and their master's wife is like mother. So they are ready to take care of this. And Tam Sarika Kunduka Darpanambuja Svetatapatra Vijana Sarga Adibhi Gitayanairdundubi Sankavenubhir Vrishendra Aropya Vitankitayayu. The disciples of Lord Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on the back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. They bore a lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia for her enjoyment and covered her with a canopy. Followed by a singing party with drums, conchs, and bugles, the entire procession was as pompous as a royal parade. Now they made proper arrangement because their mistress was going. It is their responsibility to arrange everything properly, and they were doing their duty properly. Unfortunately, they could not protect Sati, so that is their greatest. Uh, they may be considering its great failure. They are actually going to protect Sati. Shiva want her to be protected, but somehow it don't happen. आरंभ घोषोर्जित यज्ञ विश्वम विपर्षि जुष्टं विबुधायश्च सर्वशः वृद्धिर् अयः कंचन दर्भचन् चर्मभिर् निर्शष्ट भानंद यजनम समाविशत्. She then reached her father's house where the sacrifice was being performed and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. The great sages, brahmanas, and demigods were all assembled there, and there were many sacrificial animals as well as pots made of clay, stone, gold, grass, and skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice. And Prabhupada writes that When learned sages and brahmanas assemble to chant Vedic mantras, some of them also engage in arguing about the conclusions of scriptures. So this happens in a big learned person comes, there is always a discussion. And in discussion, there will be argument also sometimes. Some of the sages and brahmanas were arguing, some of them were chanting the Vedic mantras. So the entire atmosphere was surcharged with transcendental sound vibration. This transcendental sound vibration has been simplified in the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In this age, no one is expected to be highly educated in Vedic ways of understanding because people are very slow, lazy, and unfortunate. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya has recommended the sound vibration of Hare Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5 that it is also recommended. Yajna Sankirtana Prayanti Sumedaha. At the present moment, it is impossible to gather sacrificial necessities because of the poverty of the population and their lack of knowledge in Vedic mantras. Therefore, for this age, it is recommended that people gather together and chant Hare Krishna mantra to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So, here Prabhupada took this opportunity to explain that no need of doing all the sacrifice, just chant Hare Krishna. And now he makes another point. Another significant point in this verse is that there are animals for sacrifice. That these animals are meant for sacrifice does not mean that they are meant to be killed. The great sages and realized souls assembled were performing yajnas, and their realizations were tested by animal sacrifice. Just as in the modern science, tests are made on animals to determine the effectiveness of a particular medicine. So then Brahmanas, they are also using these mantras to sacrifice. They test their realization on old animals were offered in fire and rejuvenated. That was the test of Vedic mantras. Now we may question, what if the mantra goes wrong? You have already lost one animal, right? Yeah, but it's old animal, so you get less reaction for it. Reaction will be there. I chanted mantra. Now to test whether it is right or wrong, I am putting an animal and somehow it didn't work. So what happens? Yeah, the animal is old, so less reaction. So the animals gathered were not meant to be killed and eaten. The real purpose of sacrifice was not to replace a slaughterhouse, but to test the Vedic mantras by giving animal new life. Animals were used to test the power of Vedic mantras, not for meat. And that is to help the animal only. But anyway, there is always, if you are doing something good, there will be always some casualties will be there. So some animals may die as a casualty. But overall purpose is a big thing. You are going to benefit the whole society. That's the reason we have to take that risk. Somebody will take the risk. Like if you are you are creating something, so there will be casualties. If big bridge is to be constructed or some building is constructed, there will be casualties. But still, we cannot stop. If you want to protect the country, then you have to have soldiers, and there will be some fighting with some miscreants, then there will be wars, there will be casualties. But for overall benefit of the country, you have to take the risk like that. तामागतां तत्र न कश्चनाद्रियत् विमानितां यज्ञकृतो भजा भयजा जन ऋते स्वरिष्यं वै जननीं च सादृशा प्रेमाश्रुकण्टयः परिसश्वजैर्मुधा. When Sati with her followers reached the arena, because of all people assembled were afraid of Daksha, none of them received her well. No one welcomed her but her mothers and sisters, who, with tears in their eyes and with glad faces, welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. And Prabhupada writes, the mother and sisters of Sati could not follow the others who did not receive Sati very well. Due to natural affection, they immediately embraced her with tears in their eyes and with loving feelings. This shows that women as a class are very soft-hearted. Their natural affection and love cannot be checked by artificial means. Although the men present were very learned Brahmanas and demigods, they were afraid of their superior Daksha. And because they knew that their welcoming Sati would displease him, although in their minds they wanted to receive her, they could not do so. Women are naturally soft hearted, but men are sometimes very hard hearted. So Prabhupada is now he is trying to explain properly here. So the point here is that uh, we are trying to understand that these people they want to welcome, but they know the Daksha don't like Shiva, and they understand this dynamic. So this is called diplomacy. You don't want to displease your superiors, and you will have a problem. And they all this and actually they are committing offense. Now in these cases, what should be done? Yeah, they have to take a stand, but they took a stand for Daksha and who is going to die. And women are in an advantageous position. That's why they commit less offenses compared to men. Men commit more offenses. That's why none of the women got punishment. All the men got punished. Although she was received by her sisters and mother, she did not reply to their words of reception, and although she was offered a seat and presents, she did not accept anything, for her father never talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare. She did not accept the greetings offered by her sisters and mothers, for she was not at all satisfied by her father's side. Sati was the youngest child of Daksha, and she knew that she was his pet. But now, because of her association with Lord Shiva, Daksha forgot all his affection for his daughter, and this very much aggrieved her. The material bodily conception is so polluted that even upon slight provocation, all our relationship of love and affection are nullified. Wow, such a wonderful statement. It's a golden, golden statement for all of us. What Prabhupada is telling, the material bodily conception is so polluted that even upon slight provocation, all our relationship of love and affection are nullified. Body relationship are so transient that even though one is affectionate towards someone in a body relationship, a slight provocation terminates this intimacy. And we can see many such examples. And one small incident, and everything is gone. 20 years you have nicely worked and you have taken care and you have done everything. And you do one mistake, and unfortunately, they will make all 20 years zero. And this happens in relation to parents and friends and everybody, wife, husband. And now father does so much for the family, and one small mistake he does in something, and the children, everybody will reject them. And I have seen also. I know one family, the daughter, because the mother and she is the only daughter, and mother and father they took care of her nicely. And when there was some property and other things, the parents said, okay, we want to take utilize this property for serving devotees. She was so upset. She had so much property, not that she is like very huge property they have. One property they want to give in the service of devotees. The daughter was so upset. She didn't talk to the her parents for 22 years. When the when her mother died, then they didn't even inform the daughter also that your mother died because she's least bothered what is happening to their parents. 22 years they didn't talk. Can you imagine? It's like shock. How can something like this? And only child, not that there are other children for them. The only child, she is least bothered. So this is the reality of this world. It is so polluted. It is actually no relation, not real only. This is all bogus relationships. This is all illusory. Only if we love Krishna, then our relationships are real. If you don't love Krishna, then all our relationship, they end up like this only. The material bodily conception is so polluted that even upon slight provocation, all our relationship of love and affections are nullified. Finish. And friendship and everything, it is somehow this world is like that. Slight provocation terminates this intimacy. Rudrabhagam tamavya. Okay, we have a question here. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandapranam.
No.
Prabhuji, right now you said that if material provocations ruin our relationship. So, Prabhuji, sometimes in devotee association also, what I have felt by a very sincere devotee, a manipulative, manipulative behavior, like they are wrong at their part, while others are saying that yes, they are wrong, but they are taking reference from the scriptures and showing that, oh, I am not wrong, I am right, only that person is wrong. So, Prabhuji, if and that devotee was a very sincere devotee, she gave up that association because she when I talked with her, she told me that don't want to be in such a association where scriptures are taken in a wrong direction and for self satisfaction or self protection. So Prabhuji, in devotee community also we find that sometimes relationships which are based on only on the part of service don't work out because of false ego and all that. So, whatever action she has taken of giving up that association, because that repeatedly happened with her. So, was it wrong or right, Prabhuji?
It is right. She should not. Only thing is, she should not keep any hostile mentality towards them. She should not feel any negativity for them. But she should know, okay, they may be right, but I don't understand because for me it looks wrong. So, but better keep distance from them. So it is always safe to keep distance if you are feeling that they are not doing things properly. So it's not wrong. It's correct only. Only she should
Okay.
get some other good association and continue doing that good association.
Yes, and Prabhuji, further extending, as what happens when someone is morosed or someone is hurted deeply from inside, like a human nature, some bad words may come out while talking to others. So she has used some bad words, but they were not that much harsh bad words that one should take offense of that. So, morning in the morning Bhagavatam session, we were discussing about Daksha's pastime, where it is stated that one should give up one's own life for one if one commits offense. So, what is the exact definition of offense? Because if one is a Vaishnava, he will not speak such hard word that other Vaishnava would get hurted. And if other Vaishnava has got hurted, if he or she says something, he should not feel offended because they were just discussing. Na? So, what is the definition of offense? Which offense is very grave? Because we say everyone who is chanting is a Vaishnava, but at the same time they have different level of understanding and different level of consciousness. So, which offense should we consider as to be a very grave offense?
See, there is something like uh, when I am doing with a malice in the heart to give pain to the person, that is considered a very serious offense. Like say I wanted to give this person some pain, and because of us, when he comes to my place, I'll say, okay, you are such stupid fellow and all. And this is actually the greatest offense. We have discussed this also, four levels. One is just you are trying to mentally you are thinking I'm better than him. Even that is also considered one level of visual offense only. Second is you are trying to prove I am better than him. But this third level, which you are talking now, is when you speak something. Of course, in the fourth level, when you speak, and If see, you want to do Abhishekam in the first and then you want to have class. I say no, I want to have class then Abhishekam. So I have an argument with you and say, "Yare, you don't understand, you don't know how to manage." Now this is at the managerial level. So I don't want to. I just speak something to get things done, but that's not an offense. Offense is when I am trying to minimize you and trying to speak negative about you to others and to you also, then offense comes. Like if I am trying to say something, your management is not good, it's okay. No, it's about management only. I don't have any personal thing about you. So it's not an offense. If the argument is like, no, whatever you are speaking on scriptures, I didn't agree, or if the point made is just on a managerial point of view or just to express your displeasure, that's not a problem. Even then the
Okay.
person may feel bad about it, or why did he say that I don't do proper management? That's not a problem only. Problem is
Okay.
out of envy we are doing, and our intention is a malicious intention. If our intention is to give that person trouble, then you get the reaction as an offense. Otherwise, anytime this is a common thing, that will not be a problem. It's not an offense if you are telling I didn't like or this. You can express
Okay.
it, but you should not because Lord in the heart as Paramatma, He knows what is our intention. If
Yes.
our
Yes.
intentions is wrong, then he will punish. Otherwise, he will accept it.
Okay. Okay.
Like say,
Okay.
if
Thank you.
that person is doing good, if you are able to appreciate, then
Hmm.
you will know that you don't have malicious intention. Say, I'm doing
Okay.
wrong, you chastise me. But if I did wrong, did you praise me? If
Yes.
you are praising, that means you are neutral. That's not a problem. Like sometimes
Yes.
children do wrong, parents will chastise. If they do good, they appreciate also. So in that,
Yes.
parents are not envious of children. So
Okay.
similarly, if you are not envious and you are, if they did good thing, you appreciate it. If they did wrong thing, you told them also. So that's not a problem. And now Brahma is telling to demigods, "Are why are you living? You should not have even a desire to live also." Now
Huh,
Brahma,
huh.
he has love for all the devatas because they are all his children.
Hmm.
He can say that. Now, why Brahma is displeasing all devatas? They are all devotees only. No, he is telling out of concern for them. So that's not a problem. If you are telling out of concern, even the person feels bad, it's not Vaishnava brother.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Prabhu.
Sitakant bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandasvana.
Hare.
Prabhuji, from that canto, it was one doubt, Prabhuji, that Mahavishnu, Prabhuji, the Mahapralaya happens at in the end of the Brahma's 100 years. All the 14 planetary systems will be annihilated, and all the living entities will enter into the Mahavishnu's body. Is this a correct understanding, Prabhuji?
Yeah, and this happens at the end of Brahma's life.
Prabhuji, there are many universes. We are one of the universe, and like many universes are there. So all the universes will annihilate at the same time, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. All the Brahmandas will annihilate at one time. All will enter into the body of Mahavishnu, and all
Yes,
the jivas from different universe also they will enter, Prabhuji.
yes,
Then
yes.
again, the recreation happens when the Mahavishnu he exhales, all the Brahmanas comes out, and the living entities may I mean, Pradhana, we are hearing like Pradhana is there. So up to the point of Pradhana, all the Shakti is one Prabhuji. So from Pradhana, again different universes will come out, and the living entities also will spread. Some living entities will go to one universe, and other living entities go to other universe. And similarly, the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu also, how many universes are there? To that many universes he enters probably. Is this the discussion came up? Just I want to clarify with you. Is it right understanding or anything will need to be corrected? Please help me, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes. Garbhodaksha Vishnu manifests because he is Mahavishnu only manifests as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He's one person only. There are not many Garbhodaksha Vishnus, only one person. It's all one only.
Prabhuji, each
And
universe, Prabhuji, let us say a million, 1 million, just example, some 1 million universes are there. So 1 million Garbhodakasai Vishnus, the Mahavishnu will expand as 1 million Garbhodakasai Vishnus and then he enters into the universe, Prabhuji. Is it correct understanding, Prabhuji?
then he further expands into Paramatma in all living entities. So there are unlimited number of Paramatma, means living entities, he expands. Yeah.
So Prabhuji, Garbhodakasai Vishnu is multiple now, Prabhuji. Is it right understanding? Like one universe, we have one Garbhodakasai Vishnu.
Yeah, millions of Garbhodakshayas and further expands also into Kshirodakshaya Vishnu also.
Okay, but Mahavishnu is only one, Prabhuji.
That's one. Actually, all three are one only. Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Karanodakshaya Mahavishnu, all one person only. They are not many. That is also important to understand. It is only one Paramatma.
Acha, all Prabhuji,
There,
one only, huh?
yeah, it's on Paramatma is only one Paramatma.
Garbhodakasai Vishnu, I mean to say that one
Even
Vishnu is there.
it's all only one Paramatma, but he is present everywhere, but is only one person. Like say you are watching the Prime Minister of India hosting the flag in
Uh,
Delhi. Now you are
yes,
seeing in all the televisions across the country. How many Prime Ministers are there?
one Prime Minister only.
But you are seeing everywhere, na? And all the houses you are seeing the Prime Minister.
Reflection.
Same thing, Paramatma is only one, but he is seen everywhere.
So, Prabhuji, I mean, for better understanding, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, and
Maha-
Mahavishnu, all are one only.
One person only, but they are seen everywhere like that.
Mm, like Krishna, how he expands into many incarnations, but Krishna is one. Like some, is this right understanding, Prabhuji? Or-
Krishna, when he expands because he does different leelas with different. But here, Paramatma is not like that. He is only one person.
Oh my God.
So,
So we are referring him with different names. That's all.
but only one Paramatma.
Oh, Krishna. Mm-hmm. Fine, Prabhuji. Fine. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you all very much. We'll end here. ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।